My fondest memory of ultra running actually is nothing to do with ultra running. I used to play netball really seriously as part of the England programme. And I used to train every Saturday and Sunday at the EIS in Sheffield. And Jessica Ennis, before she did the Olympics in 2012, used to train at the EIS as well. And seeing her train hard day in, day out, when I was sat there having my packed lunch in between training, in between breaks, was like my biggest motivation and like a very fond memory. I guess I've always had that competitive kind of wanting to push yourself further edge. I think my biggest fear used to be failure. 2 of my personality traits are like stubborn, determined, or 3 of them, stubborn, determined, and like I really like proving people wrong. My name is Imo Boddy and I'm an ultra runner. I have been running for about 4 years and pursuing it as a career for about 3 years. Makes it more of a race environment, I guess. Adds to the pressure, adds to the whole thing.
So this is the first time you're doing the race?
First 24-hour track race.
Yeah.
I've trained really hard. I couldn't be more prepared, so I feel like obviously there's different factors that can happen in the day, but I've trained the hardest I could do. And I would say I'm in the best shape I've been. In 2020, so actually this is 5 years ago, I was working at a very small gym in London called One London, and I was just a personal trainer, front of house, kind of going through the motions of the fitness industry. I really wanted to pursue running as a career and do something more. I wanted to make my mark, wanted to do something and didn't know where to start. And I ran 7 marathons in 7 days in 2021, which was, I guess, my first intro to the multi-stage stuff. I guess I really enjoy the competitive space and I really enjoy pushing myself and seeing what I'm capable of. And I love the long stuff. It's like pain for however long, but like the feeling when you finish a race or a challenge is incomparable. Like when I finished 3 peaks last year, that like even 5-minute feeling was just like incredible. There was a time, and it was actually the 36-hour stint that we had to finish. I was like 100 miles into my in, and I knew I was at my limit, and I knew I needed to have a power nap. And power naps were kind of what we did, 30-minute power naps to kind of keep the ball rolling and keep kind of moving. And I said to Chris at the time, who was my coach and the head of logistics, that I needed the camper van to come to me so I could have a 30-minute power nap and then continue. And the camper van was 5K away, so I had the option to have to keep going 5K or have the camper van brought to me. And Chris said to me, he turned around and he said, you can have a 10-minute power nap on the floor, on the tarmac road, or you can keep going for 5K. And I don't think I've ever broken down quite like it. And I had about 5 people with me and they just all stared at me as I was sat on the floor crying. Because for me at the time, having a 10-minute power nap on the tarmac road was like bizarre, like unknown. Whereas actually now looking back, if you told me to do that, I probably would have a 10-minute power nap on the road and not even question it. But that's because I've kind of had that experience to know that that's like quite a normal thing that you do. I think that's my biggest motto is like, get it done, or like get on with it. And it's just like, yeah, I got it done. Mind over matter is 100%, like I couldn't agree more. I think even to this day, the past 4 years of me running have 100% been building blocks to like even Crawley on Saturday. When I did joggle, I remember when I did my 7-7, my biggest week of training was 100 kilometers. And last week was my first week of tapering and I did 106 kilometers as a taper week. So like, it's crazy to look back and be like, in that 4 years, my biggest week of training 4 years ago is now what I'd call a taper, which is obviously completely relative to kind of like what you're doing, the like experience you built up and kind of capability your capability of your body. I think it's the love of it, like more than anything. Like I absolutely love running and I love the sport and I love everything it brings. So I think a lot of people have a why for different reasons, but mine genuinely is because I love it and I love seeing what I can achieve and I love the sport.
Average situation again, isn't it?
Come on, Matt.
The problem.
I feel like when we had the conversation on Tuesday, I was really excited, and now I feel really nervous. It's a completely different feeling. But yeah, I think there's some really good runners here, so it'd be cool to run with them. And yeah, I guess just give it my best shot and see what happens. Got a good crew, as you can see. And so yeah, I'm excited. I'll see you in 200 metres. Make sure you keep your morale high. Don't suddenly.
Don't go too quickly.
Listen to it.
Oh, definitely.
So we love this one. Such a funny concept.
How specific are you being?
Around what?
Around nutrition?
Oh, very. Well, fairly. I mean, incredibly, actually.
Well, we're part of the crew. We're just there are other more important people, but we are definitely part of the crew, helping Imo run this 24-hour race at Crawley.
We're an hour and a quarter in, and so far it seems to be a case of making sure she's drinking and checking that she's got the right amount of carbs going in, and making sure she's going to the loo actually, which is quite important on a hot day like today, and keeping her as cool as possible.
So we are just coming up to 90 kilometres in. So she's like 89.400 meters, like 400. But yeah, heading into the night. So some say this is where the race really starts. She is like, she's questioning why she's doing it, but I mean, I feel like that is a normal reaction for someone doing something like this. So she's trudging along, one foot in front of the other. We're trying to get her to smile as much as possible, just keep her happy, and just moving forward.
I'll have some Nocco, please. Some coffee. Guys, this is absolutely brutal. You're already doing it. Strong mindset.
We do. We're another half an hour into it.
Come on, Imo.
It's mental.
Yeah.
I know, I thought I had good mental strength.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. That's your strength.
That's what's going to take you.
That's what's going to take you. You've got a stronger mind than anyone here knows. Come on, Imo. You can do it. You can.
What went right, but what went wrong first? What went wrong, I think, because more went wrong than right. Pacing went right, and that's something I massively stand by. When I pulled out, I was in 4th or 5th position. I definitely wasn't going too fast in kind of comparison. We set pace targets to be like go no faster than, and I didn't go faster than X. So I think pacing went fine. Physically, I felt fine, and I don't really know what the kind of thing was, but mentally I just like, I don't know, mentally I just wasn't in it that day. And I thought I was. I think the thought of having to do another 14 hours and another 130 odd K around that track really got to me. When you get in your head, you get in your head. On reflection and having spoken to Robbie, like I was very much on track for my distance. Like, even if I'd taken like half an hour to walk, it wouldn't have meant that I would have like my goal would have slipped away. But I think at the time, everything is so saturated, concentrated and heightened that like you panic and you think what's the point in walking for half an hour because you're not getting anywhere. And I think with A to B running, whenever I've done that, like races and challenges, you can be like, okay, I will walk for half an hour, which will get me to wherever. Whereas for this, you can't see where you're going because you're just going around loops. I feel quite open and not happy about it, but open and like clear about it all now, and actually have had a lot of time to reflect on it. But yeah, it's a learning. Like people have like all the kind of top 24-hour runners I've kind of spoken to, and Dan Lawson, who like holds the world record for 3 peaks with me, he's the male record holder. He like very much highlighted that, you know, you might have one good race and you might have 3 or 4 rubbish races and so on. So yeah, I guess it's the nature of the sport. My short-term goal is to hit qualifying distance and finish 2025 with that goal achieved. And then kind of the next couple of years to, yeah, do a mixture of trail races and road races and see what happens. Spend a bit more time in the mountains so that I can put like my best foot forward and have the best training ground for it. I think 10-year-old Imo would be very proud of 25-year-old Imo, but 25-year-old Imo isn't satisfied.